Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So they're back with a Caitlyn updated complete guide. We haven't done Caitlyn in a long while and I kind of wanted to update her build a little bit. But of course, before we jump into the details, don't forget to check out her basic guide that I will link up in the cards above for her skills, living order, tips and tricks, as well as some combos. Alrighty. So let's hop straight into the build. Now basically, we've covered like an energized build like with Stormrazor, which used to be pretty good. It is still pretty good, but I honestly think Bloodthirster is just too strong of an item to not go for. So I think that Bloodthirster as a first item is now probably, or not probably, but in my opinion, definitely better than going for Stormrazor, although Stormrazor does give you a lot more burst. So the next other change we have is Kraken Slayer. We'll get into that in a little bit. So first up, we start off with the Gluttonous Greaves for the Omnivamp as well as the AD, and then we have the Bloodthirster for, again, even more AD as well as some physical vamp. Also additional stats when you're high on health, which hopefully as Caitlyn you should be high on health majority of the time because you are kind of just a very backline, front to back kind of ADC who shouldn't be taking too much damage in an ideal scenario. And then we have Magnetic Blaster. You already have the longest base attack range in the game, and with the Magnetic Blaster you will get even more, and you also get, of course, that static shift effect and the burst kind of damage. You also get attack speed, which you don't have any of in this build except from Alacrity, so having the attack speed really helpful here as well. Then we of course go for the IE to get the boost in terms of both damage as well as in terms of crit rate, and then we top it off with the Maul Reminder for the Armor Pen and the Grievous Wounds, which puts us to 100% crit. So for your last item, you can go for the usual suspects of GA, you know, all your other defensive options like your Maw, and you know, whatever you need in this slot basically. You could also go for more crit, things like Phantom Dancer if you so choose, if you want like even more damage or attack speed. And for the runes, as I mentioned, you want to go for Kraken Slayer. Now, Kraken Slayer is a very strong rune in lane, which is going to help you to double down on Caitlyn's oppressiveness in lane. 3 auto attacks to proc Kraken Slayer, and it scales decently well ever since it got buffed, you know, in quite a number of patches ago. Of course, you do have a lot of AD in your build with items like Bloodthirster and IE, so this will scale into the later stages of the game, but of course not as amazingly as like Conqueror or Lethal Tempo. Of course, as an auto attacker, Brutal is the best rune here. Giant Slayer, the best rune here as well, because there's a lot of bonus health in the game. And Alacrity for the attack speed, which you're kind of lacking of in your build because you have a lot of attack and damage. And then Bone Plating for the defensive stats in lane as well as in the later stages of the game. And finally, we are going for Flash as our summoner spell, as well as going for Ghost in majority of matches. Ghost on Caitlyn really helpful for you to kite in and out of fights and just run people down or run away, but Exhaust could come in handy if you're against multiple assassins. So with all that out the way, let's hop straight into our gameplay. Okay, so jumping into the gameplay, of course, first things first, as usual, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any questions, queries, or remarks, feel free to plop them in the comment section below, and I will be definitely sure to address them or drop a like. So, jumping straight into it, basically, with Caitlyn, your best supports are basically either Lux or Morgana. They are pretty much the best supports for you. We're straight into the action with Lux getting hooked. Now I'm just auto-attacking the closest target, which is Thresh. Probably auto-attacking the Sivir would be better in this case, but now I'm focusing the Sivir. Lux binding goes a little bit wide. Sivir's taking a lot of damage. She flashes but dies. I'm gonna flash up to chase Thresh, and Thresh is forced to flash. Here I get hooked but not into tower, which allows, basically by hitting that root, Thresh essentially rooted himself, allowing Lux to hit a free Q, and we get basically a 2v2 double kill in the bot lane. All summoner spells in the bot lane are blown except for Sivir's Exhaust. Sivir gets caught into a Lux binding, eats a Q from me, and basically gets chunked for half of her health instantly. Thresh tries to come in, eats a root as well. Sivir behind him eats the back part of the root again, and here you can see, despite the fact that, you know, we have not yet backed, we've basically been able to get them back to the same spot. I see Aatrox here. I'm instantly just going for Sivir so I can get the kill trait, and then I'm getting in the auto attacks on Thresh to try to get another trait. We trade 1 for 1. Lux tries to go in to finish the kill onto the Thresh, but unfortunately it does not happen. So overall we trade 1 for 2, which is not the most positive trade. But you can see the power of Caitlyn in the early game already, being able to oppress the Sivir and the Thresh to an extent that honestly is quite disgusting. So this is one of the reasons why Lux is pretty much Caitlyn's best support. The moment Lux hits root, it allows you to hit a free combo, and basically you can burst them 100 to 0 with Lux and Caitlyn damage combined. Morgana is also really good because her binding does pretty much the same thing as Lux, except that she now has a CC immunity for you as well. And yeah, anyone else other than these two are just pretty much just okay supports for Caitlyn. Like if you get any other Enchanter or Engager, it's pretty much just okay as well. So now hopping straight into the action, we are going to continue just pelting them down with our poke. So Caitlyn, pretty much you want to play aggressive like this. You can see Sivir is almost dead and she actually just dies right here. The damage is just insane. I try to combo the Thresh, but unfortunately I kind of miss on both my abilities. Thresh is now stuck under the tower at pretty high HP, but he can't really do anything to us. And I'm going to assume that Aatrox has gone to the other side of the map because he just ganked us here. So he probably went to his red side now for his camp respawn. So here, what we're trying to do, we're getting tower damage, we're getting tower plates, and we're getting damage onto the Thresh at the same time. As you guys can see here, a proccing Kraken Slayer as well. So we have helped the Thresh, making it difficult for him to engage onto us. And when Sivir comes back, we start blasting her as well. We basically combo the Thresh together with the Lux and finish him off with a Q. One auto attack went in on the Sivir by accident, but honestly that doesn't matter. Thresh dies regardless. And now Sivir is stuck alone. We can see Aatrox in mid, so we know we're completely safe. The only thing we need to be wary of is the Shen ulti, which he does have access to, but with Mundo being in an active fight with him, that is pretty unlikely to happen. But now with all of the kills that we got, we have a bunch of goals. So what we want to do is we want to quickly take a reset and get some components of our Bloodthirster. So here we head back into the lane. Evelyn is actually going in for a gank together with the Lux. And I'm trying to hit there as quickly as I can to try to see if I can help them out and maybe get some kills. I'm gonna launch the ulti to try to damage Sivir. I try to flash over the the Thresh box, but I accidentally flashed into it instead. Aatrox is here for the counter gank, and I'm just kiting them away, making sure to dodge out of Aatrox's infernal chains. Vladimir comes in. I Q through the Vladimir and auto attack him for the kill, killing the Sivir at the same time with that Q. And now we are on the chase in the 4v2 now. Now Shen ult is coming in. We're just blasting people from over the wall. Shen tries to come in to help out, which he does relatively successfully. Lux gets ignited and is on 1 HP, but I'm putting myself in between her and the Shen, just blasting him down with my auto attacks. I can't really kill Shen, unfortunately. He's a little bit too tanky for me at this point, but I do a decent amount of damage and scare him off so that Lux is able to escape with her life. And here we're going to reset again to complete Bloodthirster. Now we're 5-1 and 3. You can see that Caitlyn is just super duper strong in the early game, and if you get fed like me in this particular game, you're not going to feel the mid game power trough. You're going to scale very well through mid game into the late game and just basically completely just destroy the enemy team. So long as you don't get caught, like in this game, if I don't get caught by Thresh or like Aatrox, pretty much I should be able to carry my team and easily just kill everybody from the back line. Here Sivir gets caught again, does spell shield my Q though, so we don't really get in a very good amount of damage onto her. Here we get a very nice auto attack on her. Thresh goes in on us, pops the box, but no real follow up. Thresh gets caught by the Lux combo, and I'm able to pretty much just follow up for the kill onto the Thresh. I ult the Sivir for extra damage as well, although we can't really kill her. Now Aatrox was spotted coming down to bot, so we infer he's on the dragon, gets hit by Lux's combo, we combo him fully. Aatrox dies and we managed to basically get a free dragon. So Lux Caitlyn is just such a disgusting lane that when I was in Korea playing for that 1 month or so, I pretty much saw Lux Caitlyn like every single game. Like sometimes it wasn't Lux Caitlyn together, like sometimes when a team picked Caitlyn, the enemy team picked Lux to deny the combo, or vice versa. When someone picked Lux, the enemy team picked Caitlyn to deny the combo. But pretty much every game there's a Lux or Caitlyn in the game, and there was Lux Caitlyn in like half of my games there that the picks actually went through, and the whole Korean server is just playing it, which kind of just proves how strong this Lux Caitlyn combo really is. I just died there on my lonesome because I was a little bit too overextended, a little bit too greedy for plates, which is of course not the way to go. But yeah, Lux Caitlyn is just too strong of a combo here. You can actually see based on the fact that when the Sivir and Thresh killed me, they're actually duo. I am duo with my Lux as well. So you can see that we can easily just destroy the enemy duo with this combo. Now here I'm alone again, so I do want to be cautious to not get hooked by Thresh, because if that happens, Sivir might kill. Without the hook now, I can actually step up, especially with the Evelyn nearby, but don't really want to just run straight at them, so I'm just going to collect the minion wave and be happy with it. Thresh is actually roaming to mid, as we can see from the mini-map. So I'm just going to control ward over here and see if we can get this tower. Plates are actually still up for the next 30 seconds, so we can actually potentially get plates and the tower. So here we can see Sivir and Thresh making their way down, so I have no choice but to actually leave instead of greeting for the entire tower. You can see that all of them are actually on their way down, so I'm just backing off. I place a trap to make sure that they get caught if they walk into the bush. And now Evelyn and Syndra are kind of collapsing, in the river with us, so we are trying to pick a fight here. We ult the Thresh, but Vladimir blocks it. Vladimir gets hit by the Lux binding, and Syndra's able to finish the Thresh. Vladimir is running for the hills. Aatrox comes in 1v3, and we're gonna take him down as a threesome. And now, Sivir and Vladimir are left at no man's land, and we are able to kill both of them as well. So really well played by my team here. We basically all survive and kill 4 of them. Nearly an ace. Only Shen is left alive. Not sure why Shen didn't ult there in that full-on team fight, but we finally finished the bot lane tower, and we are able to pretty much get out of the situation pretty well. So now we're 8, 2, and 6, basically averaging a kill a minute at this point. We pick up the blaster, 2 long swords to build towards our IE, which is going to be our next major power spike, and hit it back out onto the map and ready to kill more people again. So here Evelyn is kind of getting spotted in the enemy jungle, so we're just veering towards her to see if we can perhaps help her out, but she doesn't really need it. Here I dodge the threshold, but Lux gets hit. Thresh goes in. I'm gonna net myself away, and now just blasting whoever I can. Vladimir somehow barely does any damage at this point. I'm just blasting him, but he has a little bit too much movement speed. I'm just gonna chase him down. His I don't know what the thing is called. I think his passive is like running out, so I'm just chasing him down. He nearly gets hit by Lux binding, but not quite. I'm trying to ult him here, but he briefly goes out of vision for a second, and I end up ulting Aatrox instead. But overall, it doesn't really matter too much. Nothing too much is going to come of it, but Vladimir does take a huge chunk, and he does have to recall to restore his health. So really, the whole enemy team isn't too big of a problem right now. We're kind of killing all of them. The only potential problem is Aatrox and Shen. Shen, of course, is getting really tanky, and as you guys saw from the previous experience, he is really difficult to kill. So he could become a problem later on if he is a very strong frontline and we can't kill him. But at the same time, we have a Mundo who has been dealing with him, and he can frontline for us himself. And of course, Aatrox is actually pretty fat. He has a lethality build, so if we get caught out, we could, of course, die. So we still need to be really cautious despite the fact that we are really fat. So here, Evelyn's looking for a flank, and me, Syndra, and Lux are kind of backing her up to see if we can really catch anyone out. Thresh, for some reason, decides to walk up and eat the fruit into 3 people. He gets chained CC'd and just dies instantly. Vladimir is now the next target. He goes really, really low. And Evelyn is able to finish both him and Sivir off with a beautifully placed ulti. So 3 of their members go down. We're just gonna take a free inhib at this point in time. Aatrox is in trouble as well. And Mundo is keeping the Shen busy. Only Shen is left alive once again. And he really has kind of nowhere to run except his tower. And of course, because he's really tanky, they can't really kill him. So here we get the mid lane inhib because Shen is busy getting attacked in the top lane. And here we're gonna now just rotate over to the dragon to get the basically free dragon. They're all dealing with the top lane push, so we're gonna just get this dragon for free. Evelyn's gonna come on over for the smite as well. And honestly, at this point, 8, 2, and 10 as Caitlyn. All we really need to do is to stay safe and just DPS. We should be able to easily carry the game for our team, so long as we don't get caught, as I mentioned earlier on in the game just now. So here we're gonna pick up more IE components, and because we have 500 gold extra, we're gonna pick up a proto belt as well, just so we have some extra form of mobility. I like proto belt as a earlier enchant because it costs only 500 gold, and like stasis is double of that, so sometimes it's really hard to get 1,000 spare gold to get stasis or to delay your power spikes with the stasis. But 500 gold, it's a pretty good amount to spend on the enchant when you have a little bit of spare gold. And of course, we're now just 900 gold away from IE, which we will probably be able to get on our next back regardless. Here, a large clump of enemies are here. Shen tries to come in on me in the backline. I'm just blasting him and kiting him away, as you guys can see. Avoid his taunt. I'm just blasting him down, and he's taking a lot of damage. He's nearly dead, actually. He walks out of his own shroud, and if Thresh wasn't there, I believe I actually would have just run him down and kill him right there. Now, Aatrox is the one in the backline. I'm just gonna ult him and pick up a free kill, because he's already really low. And now we're just running in. And honestly, at this point, we should be either taking Baron or trying to take either inhibs. But for some reason, my whole team is just running in to mid lane. Syndra just one-shots the Vladimir. And honestly, just really, really fed right now. Thresh flashes out of the Lux ulti, and he has Twin Guard. He's relatively tanky. I guess he has a lot of armor as well. Now, Shen, double health items. He's not taking a lot of damage from me, as you guys can see, which is the main issue. I'm just focusing the Nexus, trying to maybe get the win, but the minions are running out. Shen gets caught again, but again he doesn't really take too much damage. It's not very effective what I'm doing here against him. And we're just continuing to push in. Now the enemy team are respawning, so it's really good if we could back off. I'm trying to ping my team back because I do want to reset for IE as well. But it's not quite happening. So here I'm gonna try to finish off this tower. Shen gets caught again. I'm just blasting him with whatever damage I have, which is, again, it is doing damage, but it's not enough to kill him because he's just a little bit too tanky. Clearing the next wave and trying to get the tower with my range. We do get the tower eventually, and without the safety of the tower, the enemy team is really vulnerable. I'm trying to run down the Sivir. She barely escapes because of Shen's ulti. And yeah, so here we're just pelting down the enemies with our auto attacks at long range. Not too much they can really do about it. Top lane inhib is taken by the Mundo previously as well. Only this bot lane inhib is left. I'm trying to just back. Vladimir just comes over and stops my back. I actually didn't notice for like 2 seconds, and then try to back again. He comes over and stops my back again, and he's actually going on top of me, although he doesn't really have that much damage. I'm gonna Proto Belt away to be safe, and he ends up dying for his sins. And now I'm just trying to run down whoever I can. I have no mana, but I have auto attacks because I am an ADC, so I still do damage, and I'm just gonna restore my mana using the fruit. And I'm just blasting whoever I can, whoever the first target is. In this case, it's the Shen. We finally take him down with the help of Syndra's damage, and Sivir goes down as well. Thresh and Aatrox are the last two people standing. Correction, Aatrox is the last person standing because we took down the Thresh, and we're going to take down the Aatrox as well. So finally, from this complete fiesta, we're actually going to be able to end the game, which rarely actually happens, but I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.
Victory!